For 40 long years, Robert and Diana Clark were the definition of success. They had the huge, beautiful house, the perfect clothes, and 2 successful grown children, Leo and Chloe. Their life was a gold-plated promise that marriage and hard work always lead to happiness. Robert had just finished his very last day of work. Today was meant to be the start of their new, easy life, traveling the world, relaxing, and finally buying the big, expensive boat Robert had always dreamed about. The Clarks didn't just live a happy life, they performed a happy life. They showed the world they trusted each other completely. But every perfect picture hides its frame. And sometimes, a good party is the perfect stage for a very bad secret to be exposed. The truth they had hidden for 2 decades was about to walk right onto the deck. Robert, smiling wide, lifted his glass and called out to his wife, Diana, praising her as his rock for 40 years and cheering that the retirement was for them. He said, "Now, let's go buy that boat." Diana cheered back, tightly holding his hand and saying she loved him. But the cheering stopped fast. Just as Robert finished his speech and the glasses clinked, the air on the deck turned cold. A woman had appeared by the gate. She was older, quiet, and carried a small, worn box like it was the most important thing she owned. Her name was Victoria. She had been Robert's closest friend in his younger days, but she was not invited. She looked straight at Robert, not with anger or hate, but with a deep, heartbreaking sadness. It was the look of a person who knew a terrible truth and could no longer carry the weight of it alone. Diana was confused, whispering to Robert, asking who the strange woman was and telling him to send her away, now. Robert panicked, his voice thin and sharp, telling Diana it was nothing, just an old person from his office, and desperately ordering Victoria to leave, saying she shouldn't be here. But Victoria's voice was steady and clear, reaching every ear. She announced she was there for the truth because Robert had promised for years that he would tell his wife. Since he failed and chose the lie, she said, she had to do it instead. The party was now completely frozen. The expensive music faded out. The guests were whispering, their eyes darting between Robert and the uninvited stranger. Victoria walked slowly toward the center of the deck, making every second feel like an hour. She opened the small, worn box. Inside were old, faded letters and a set of keys to a small house. Victoria told everyone that for the last 20 years, Robert had been living a hidden, second life. He had a small house in a town miles away. He had kept that life a total secret. Diana screamed, the anger finally exploding, asking if he had a mistress and yelling that he had disgraced her. Victoria shook her head sadly and explained the truth was much worse. Robert had been taking care of her sister, Sarah. Sarah was very sick with a condition that made her need someone there all the time. Robert had been paying for her house, her doctors, and being her only reliable helper for the last 20 years. The money Robert claimed he lost on a failed investment, that money paid for the hidden house and Sarah's bills. It was the money meant for Diana's new, beautiful boat. Robert had given up his own dream to keep his promise. Robert finally stepped forward. His voice was loud and desperate, full of pain, as he told everyone he kept Sarah safe and paid for her life, and he kept it a secret for 20 years, and he would do it again because it was the right thing to do. Their son, Leo, stepped forward, angry, and asked his father why he hadn't just told them the truth, since they were his family and would have helped. Robert looked at Diana, and the real, deep answer came out. He confessed he had tried to tell her 20 years ago when Sarah first became sick, but Diana had shut him down completely, saying Sarah was his problem, not their problem. He told them Diana had said if he spent $1 of their shared money on Sarah, she would leave him. He told them he had made a promise to Victoria to look out for her sister, and he couldn't break that promise, but he knew Diana would destroy him if he helped openly. Diana then took off her heavy, sparkling wedding ring and slowly, deliberately dropped it into the champagne glass Robert was still holding. The sound of the ring hitting the glass was loud, final, and crushing. Standing tall, her voice dangerously quiet and cold, Diana gave her ultimatum. She said Robert had made a choice to live a life with a lie, keeping a house and a person's secret for 20 years, and had broken their trust. She demanded a divorce and gave him 1 week 7 days to choose, me, our perfect life, and your family here, or your secret life with that sick woman. Robert stood there, covered in the shame of the secret, holding the glass with the ring inside. He had lost everything on the day he was meant to start his new life. The guests quickly and quietly left the deck, leaving the fractured family alone with the silence of the ocean. To be continued. Please subscribe and share and make sure you come back for more.